Power on.
So there we go. Uh where'd she go? Aburu, Aboye, Aboshi. There you go.
I'm
See, I
sorry. Give
took
me a second. I need to give
Benny.
me a second. I'm grabbing something.
Benny, I'm gonna open up. Aburu, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aloris, Awo, Ianifa, Ili Dingbe, Ili Edu. We're not gonna say nothing about Egbe Amileke because they grabbing something right quick. We're gonna greet her anyway, greet them anyway. Egbe Ola, Egbe Sumo Mi, Egbe Enrique, all of Iadudu Temple. Agbo Maritibo.
And
Ashe, Echo She, Egungun, Obatala. Epa, Orisha, Epa.
Epa, lua, epa, epa, lua, epa, epa, lua, epa.
Obaluae. May we all have overall well-being. And Iami, may the mothers God speaking to support us and continue to bless us with abundance.
Achei.
Ashe, why? So, how you doing, Agan?
I'm all right, Baba. Now that I can see,
Okay. So you're just not relying on your third eye today.
not when it's fuzzy.
Ashe. Ashe. What are we talking about today, Yanifa?
We are talking about. I'm pulling it up now. Um, Otura Tikun.
Oh, Oturmotitiko. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
so
Ogwato.
we're gonna talk about Otura Tikun. Um, let's see, in the aspect of Egungun. Um, and we
Maritibo.
and
É.
do you want to do the verse, Baba?
Um, I can. Um,
No, I mean, did you want everyone to?
Benny. So you can do Ifani.
Okay, Ifani Otura Tikun,
Otura
Authority
Tikun,
cone.
as you have said,
as you have
As
said,
you have said,
that was the way it turned out to be.
That
that
was the
was
that
way
the
was the
way
way
it
it
turned
turned
out
out
to
to
be.
be.
It was at the same time
It
it
was
was
It
at
was at the
same
same
time
time
that the two of them
that the
that
that
two
the
of
the
two
them
of
two of
them
them
lift up their lower jaws.
Lift
lift up
up
lift up
their
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 lower
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 jaws.
jaw.
jaws.
This was Ifa's message
This was
This
Ephah's
was
message
God's message
for Arenu Kiran.
for
For
Ranu
for
Arenu
Kiran.
Arenu
Kiran.
Kiran.
He who has authority
He who
He
has
who
He who
has
has
authority
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 on many issues.
on
on
many
on
many
On
many
issues.
many
issues.
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 The offspring of the lineage.
The
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 offspring of
Offspring
the
offspring
of
of
offspring
the
lineage.
the
of the
lineage.
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 He was advised to offer a bow.
He was
He
He was
was
advised to
Was
advised
offer
advised
to
to
a
advised to
offer
offer
a
a
offer a
bow.
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 What a disaster.
What a
What
what
a
a
disaster.
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 How can death
How
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 can
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 death
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 snatch this one away from us?
snatch
Snatch
this
snatch
this
one
this
one
one
away
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 from
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 us.
us?
us?
Oh, what a pity.
Oh,
Oh,
what
Oh,
a
what
pity.
a pity.
pity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this Odu, it's speaking on well, we already see that it speaks to death, but we know that death Iku can be many things. It doesn't have to be just a physical death, it can also be endings. Um and endings can come in many different forms. So when it says as you have said, that was the way it turned out to be, is referencing ancestral wisdom. What was told that would happen is coming to pass. Um, while that's happening, let me see. While that's coming to pass, there are also people. What do we say about speaking with the lift up their lower jaws? Is people that's actually
Maybe there was contention before. There was some opposition to the truth. And
okay.
so the side effect of, the first line, as we have said, it come to pass, you know, this is our side, or the side of truth and wisdom, versus those who are contentious about it, that speak against it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, this was Ifa's message for Erenu Karan, he who has authority on many issues. Ooh, and my eyes are still burning. Okay, Arenu Quran. Oh, he has authority on many issues, the offspring of the lineage. Um, in this also, when it speaks to ancestral wisdom and things that we're advised to do as far as behaviors, things that we speak or say out of our mouths, it's also, in essence, um, being mindful of things, or as Baba would say, utterances, not just because of our ashe, it's also because everyone grows at different rates. So we want to make sure that as we're speaking on people and things that they may do or their behaviors, that we're keeping in mind that we don't want those same things to cause issue or contention in our lives, because we don't know what others are going through. We don't know the levels that they're at or what's happening on that side. So we need to be mindful in things like that when we speak or when we see in other people's behaviors. And it's important, it's very important to give grace, because the thing that we comment on can bring us contention or endings, whether it be things that we see going on at work or at home. It works in pretty much any situation that we're connected to. We need to be mindful of the things that we say, and the way that things turn out, because what we say and what we feel, or as we see a person doing certain things or a certain situation, um, if unless we have the complete insides and outs, and we don't always, because we don't see everything within our own lives and what's happening behind the scenes. So we have to keep in mind the things that we say, participate in, or give comment to, because we don't know the full scope of things, and what's going on. So we want to be mindful so we don't bring endings or contention to ourselves. Our ancestors help us in that, because we are given, we're given, I want to say, what's the word, Baba? Inklings, I guess. When you say something, or when you're in a conversation and you get a feeling about some things you're speaking on, or some things that's going on in the
Intuition.
conversation, and that's something that you don't, you want to be mindful when participating in those conversations, because they say there are three sides to a story. So we always want to be mindful, um, that we're all growing, things are changing, and sometimes what may appear or show up as one way can be something totally opposite. It just may not be something that we're privy to. So we have to be mindful and careful of those things, just as people speak against us when not knowing the full story, or just, whether it's somebody just what we say hating, or a fan. Haters are fans too. Um, so it's just keeping a large scope of things and being mindful of our words, how we use them, as they can be weapons as well. So our ancestors help us in the fact that, you know, they went through the same things. There may be things that they had to work on, that they agreed to come to work on as far as their character, and that stuff can be things that we can connect to and expand on, like grow that, improve that on our in our lineage, and make sure that we're healing that portion of it and making the change that may not have been accomplished while they were here. So it's a lot of different aspects to it that we must consider. Not that all of that is happening and you need to think of that at the same time. It's just keeping in a mindset that we're being mindful, basically, of what is said, what we participate in, and also it helps give a better perspective in turn when people are looking at us. You know, so it can go either way. It's a full scope, and it's just to be mindful of that. And I wanted to touch on that because I thought that was very important, and that came to me in us talking about this. And I think that's important for us to remember. Um, when it says he was advised to offer a bow, what a disaster. How can death snatch this one away from us? Again, it doesn't have to be a physical death. It could be the ending or something not coming through for the participation in, whether it be gossiping, even if you don't partake in it, being in that crowd, listening, and you know that just opens a door. So and so was there, and it's just stuff that we are in the process of, you know, elevating out of. I know we all grow at different rates. It's just something to be mindful about because that one thing, that participation, that listening, that could potentially put us in a situation where we miss out or something that we're working on doesn't go the way that we needed it to go, all because we weren't mindful of the things we were lending our energy to. Yes, Baba.
Say
Oh, I know. I saw your face. I thought,
no, so I love those insights on how we can apply, right? How we can recognize and then apply that wisdom. Because there's not conversation, right? Especially when we're in groups of people, right? You know, we're in the presence of other elders, right? Somebody's returned ancestor or whatever. So how will we utilize that in what we doing? You know what I mean? And so in our day-to-day life, how are we gonna apply that wisdom? And so like I love it. So you helped me to see something else about the verse by what you were saying, because what is the thing that gave him the authority? And you started the verse by saying it, Ifani, right? So this is just one the way, right, that we get these messages, whether it be from Egungun, right?
and
Okay, just
Yeah.
checking. This is how we get those messages from Egungun. This is how we get those messages from Obatala. This is how we get those messages from Iami. This is how we get those messages from Obaluae. So whether they speak directly or indirectly, right? Otura Tikkun, the ancestors we know with this Odu are in the process of opening certain doors and closing others. So this is the action. And so the thing is, in order to facilitate the change, part of the ancestral wisdom, right, is to offer above. We have to remember that Isheshe Lagba is over 10,000 years old. I think we'll be in the year 10,068 come June 1st. So that is wisdom. It's truth exercised over time, right? You know, to receive the same outcome. So Ifani is the way that the ancestors spoke through this Odu. And Iku even spoke through this Odu. So it's very important for us to realize that as well, right? So it's death speaking through this Odu, right? Oh, what a pity, right? An ending is Iku, whether it's the lifestyle, whether it's a relationship, whether it's someone's life or these things, right? Iku speaks. But how do they speak? It has to speak through Otuatikun. This is one of the Odus, there's plenty. Everyone there where it talks about some ending, Iku is present. So because Iku is present, right? The wisdom that teaches us how to avoid Iku comes from the ancestors. So a part of the ancestors we know, right? And this is the thing too about Isheshe is that the top five, everybody say the top five.
Top five.
The top five.
Top five.
Ifa or Orumila is a part of Egungun. Shango is a part of Egungun. Ogun is a part of Egungun. Iyami Soronga is a part of Egungun. And then your maternal and paternal ancestors. Remember, it's not Egun, it's Egungun. Again, in other traditions, they have Egun worship. It's limited, right? To your localized, genetically related, blood-related ancestors. But with Egungun, we're united with the ancestors that we have, ancestral priests even, priestess. So Agan is initiated to Ifa. So any ancestors that she have that may have been priests or priestesses, right, that practice Ifa some form in this country or another country, anywhere across the world, at any given time, previous to her, that have lived and passed on. What about those Ogun people in her family that have passed on? Those Shango people in her family, these priests, the blacksmiths, those elevated people, right? And even those people that are connected to her through blood. So Egungun shows us that it's not just the connection of blood, but the connection of spirit as well. Ashe.
Okay.
So this is how we can get a clear picture of death. The Odu may come in Iku. It may come in Ire Aiku. So if we can understand how to apply it and what things to look out for, it will help us understand the esoteric nature behind it. Who's doing the speaking? Those who've already been through death. So this is where she's saying, the Odu Ifa is explaining that we shall receive the wisdom to overcome death. The dude in the first verse received it. Hey, but man, I done told y'all, quit playing in people's face. Change your ways. Don't eat that. Don't go there. Don't engage in this thing. They didn't believe it. Now they got nothing to say. There's plenty to say before, but now it's challenges. It's not long life. May we continue to see it in other people and not ourselves. May it not affect us in that way. May we continue to listen to wisdom. Saying. So give me one taboo. Someone say, what's one? Tell me one taboo. Ifadare. Give me one taboo, Ifadare.
Say it again, Baba.
Tell me a taboo. Something that's a taboo, Ikido.
Coconut.
Right? Ashe. How can a coconut bring an ending other than falling out the tree and hit you on the head? It's a rhetorical question. Because quite literally, the coconut can fall out the tree and hit you where? In the head. So when Ifa tells us not to eat coconut, it's because of something that could affect the head. Think about the structure of the coconut. Think about the structure of one's head. So we typically offer coconut, right? We offer it to Egbe, yes, Akika Shege. but we also offer it for Ibori. Odu that tells us that is Erechi on the right and Ogbe on the left. We can also see it in Ogbe Kanran. So we don't see right away how it could be valuable, right? Because we like to consume coconut. But when we don't consume it and we use it to feed our ori, it opens up blessings. Agbomaniwa, destiny is like a coconut. It's telling us to feed the coconut to one's destiny, so we should stay away from it. Omoya, everybody stand up for the old lady. Yeah,
No chicken.
Huh?
No chicken.
Chicken?
I don't know.
No, chicken, that's a good one. So it happens to be in your Odu, Osai, Eleye, that tells us that it's also in Okanran, Oyekutelekan, that we should not eat chicken, right? Birds, because of the Iyami. So way back in creation, there was an agreement between the son of man, or Eniya, and Iyami, the birds. When the Iyami would, when the humans would go from heaven to earth, the human beings, the Iyami would care for the human beings, right, in the Yan when they travel, right? So we constantly coming from heaven to earth. So there's an agreement of safe passage, if you will. Safe passage. Until the human beings started eating the Iyami. When all the Orisha were coming from heaven to earth, right? They spirits, right? They raw materials, right? The Irumale, when they're coming from heaven to earth, they had their own forms in order to, in which they used to manifest in this reality, right? In the 3D. So they're coming from 5D to 3D, right? They solidifying, they're becoming water, they're becoming glass, they're becoming metal, they're becoming fire, they're becoming wood, they're becoming earth, they're becoming all these things. But the Iyami did not have a body to come to Iain. So Arimula invited the Iyami inside his body. He came from heaven to earth, and then he's like, let me get you up out of here. Iyami said, I'm gonna eat you from the rooter to the tutor. Arumala cast Ifa off her bow. Ifa said that Arumala had to offer Ipese to remove the energy from his body. So those things that cause us sickness, dis-ease in our stomach and our reproductive organs, right? And our gastrointestinal, kidney, liver, all these things are caused by the Iyami, by things that we consume. Birds is a big one based on this Oduifa. We know from this Oduifa, Osai Eleye, that it is taboo for the person to consume any bird. So the point is, I see you, EIO. The point is that it's not always clear in the verse, right, and reading of the Ifa, that what the taboo is and what energies are speaking. It sometimes is based on the Odu Ifa right? Not the text itself, but the taboos that's associated with the text, that we can tell which energies um, um, are speaking and why. Yeah, Ayo.
Um, one of the taboos I was gonna, well, two of the taboos I was gonna say was not to
You
be
only get
flippant.
one. You only get one.
My
Okay.
bad.
I know.
Not to be flippant and not to argue.
You ever been drunk?
Yes, Baba. Once in my life, or a couple
Benny, at
times.
least once.
Yeah,
So, how did you feel the next day?
terrible, honestly.
Maybe for the next 2 days.
Ashay.
How long did it take you, way back when? How long did it take you to recover?
At least a couple days, honestly.
So, when you get into an argument, how long did it take you to recover?
Now?
Then,
Oh, then I'd be high for a while.
Benny, drunk,
Ashay.
right? The energy that you have incarnated is like anger, resentment.
Ashay.
So the thing is, right, that we have to understand that alcohol is poisoning. In essence, right? It's sugar poisoning. Sugar and mold, whatever, right? Fermentation. So we poison ourselves and it takes us time to, right, flush our system. So it's the same with anger, arguing, right? Even though the argument may happen now, you'll still be thinking about it in a few days. You'll still be replaying that, how you felt and what was said and these other things. So it takes you time again to get back to your equilibrium, balance, Iwa. So when you was this one time when you was drunk, were you working
Was I working
somewhere? Mm-hmm.
during that time? Yes.
Yes. So did you work while you was recovering?
Mm-mm.
Right? How productive were you?
That was not productive at all. I was in the
Right.
bed.
So even right. So even distraction, right? Being distracted, right? Thinking about the events that have happened, right? The argument, all those things that you replaying in your mind, they stick with you.
Ashay.
It changes your energy, what you allow in and what you don't. A particular type of spirit, right? But this is why they call alcohol or OT spirits.
Ashay.
These things we allow to incarnate our body. We can do things sometimes in anger or frustration that we may not normally do. The same with alcohol. So when we do those things and it throws our energy off, right? The thing that we needed to say that day to be successful, we may not have said because we were distracted. The same thing happens when you hung over. So it's not necessarily right. The thing that we doing is how we do it and how we observe by others. We know that both things can throw your energy off. Yeah, Agan said earlier, right? We have to watch what we say. So in arguments, we typically don't. We just be letting it fly. Again, right? Ifatusin was talking about Irete ala J and how we are pursuing something, right? We're in an expansive energy. Argument is a hot, expansive energy, right? That fire comes out of our mouths. Those words can hurt. The tone is not right, right? There's only destruction, right, during those times. Physical and non-physical construction can be demolished with words. So again, right, we have all these things, right? How we're maneuvering, how we're behaving, if we're able to accomplish the task, how we are received by others, or how we're perceived by others, and if we are picked for the next thing. We haven't even gotten into the karma, the return of energy, right, that is given during these exchanges. Right. So if we argue with somebody, we say we know best, we know better than Olodumare, we know better than Orisha. If I tell us, don't argue, because it's why? Because we're going to get into an argument. There's going to be something that happens that challenges us or provokes us to a particular type of energy. If I says we must stay away from it. Why? Because we're in the state of attracting. Irete ala J. Spitting fire, right? Oya Shango. Remember, Oya stole fire from Shango. It's in Obayonu. It takes us out of a particular type of energy, ultimately, and it has the way of affecting everything. So, yeah, Agan.
I also just wanted to touch on when mentioning the watching of our words, that also applies when we're speaking about ourselves. A lot of
Ooh.
the times we can be in a conversation with someone and we need to be mindful of what we say, not only in regards to other people, but also ourselves, because in that moment, as we're manifesting things, us speaking negatively or in an uncertain tone can actually alter or slow down what we're manifesting, what we're asking for. Because when we speak it, when we put it out there and say, this is what we need, this is what we'd like to see, this is what we're working towards, and then in the conversation with someone, we allow doubt or uncertainty to have weight in that conversation. And we say, well, if I'm not, I don't know if I can get this and if I can get that. And we need to start thinking about the way we use those same words on ourselves. Like not using the word if. If implies the possibility of failure. Use the word when. Call it in. When I have this,
Ushifa.
or when this happens, or when this takes place, these are the moves I will make. So we have to be
Ushifa.
aware of speaking those endings, not just to others and what we say, but also speaking them unto ourselves, because we are always in the energy of manifesting, because what we say has ashe. So as we're speaking, as we're saying these things, it's actually a declaration. We're putting it out and we're saying, this is what we want to see happen. This is what we want to accomplish. And that's where the energy goes. So we have to be mindful as we're speaking to ourselves as well, to have that same grace, to have that same discernment, and to have that same caution to ensure that we're not speaking those things into what we're trying to manifest or having it alter it in some form of way unknowingly, because we don't know how to speak that same life inwardly.
Fire. Fire. It's your class, ED5. So I answered my question. So I think Ifa Tucson have a question.
If I Susan.
So I got a question and I had a taboo, but I guess that part of the session is over if we're not discussing taboos. But my question is, can we use Irete Alaje to pray over the Obi?
She asking you, not me.
To pray, you said to pray over the OB with it.
Banning.
What does the OB represent?
Like when we're casting Like when we
So
casting
what
for
does the OB
O'Shea's or
represent?
success.
Well, not in that way. That's not the OD that we use for OB.
Ashe, that's why I was asking.
Oh, Benny. So now we have ODE5 that we use for OB, right? There's one for 3 lobe, there's one for 2 lobe, right?
Okay, so it changes. Okay.
Right, but like there's even ODE5 red tip measure. There's ODE5 in there just for Ibori, right?
So we do not alter the prayers that we pray over these specific materials.
Well, if you have one that specifically talks about OB or longevity, you can use that.
Benny.
So that particular one, you can use that in your OSE, right? But it's not the one that you use for the OB.
But you can use it, and that's a good one to use during O'Shea.
Okay, so you tell me then.
So this is
if I two cent, you tell me then. How would you apply that verse, even the one that you said earlier?
So irete ala J, from what I understand, it's about wealth, it's about money. So you could apply this to, for me, I would say Ibori or business. Like if you're praying for your business, you could apply this to
chant the verse.
Benny. So this could absolutely be in your morning prayer daily if you're trying to call in money to you. We already discussed it. We discussed it in O'Shea. So yeah, like for success. So obviously already a prayer.
I'm sorry, I was sneezing.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm playing with you. Go ahead.
I would apply it for my business. And
so now chant the verse. Chant the verse.
Say the verse. You want me to? Oh, that's what you're saying, Baba. I'm sorry. Irete ala J. Motun were Moba were, sorry. Moba were, the owl, this was the owl that cast E5 for Aj, the owl, the divinity of wealth when coming from heaven to earth. She was advised to offer a bow. She complied. Travelers to Ipo and Ophi land. Didn't you know we are all in running pursuit of wealth in this world? It comes to me quickly.
So that's what the first line means. It comes to me quickly. Right?
Oh.
That's what the first line means.
Mogbawere.
Mm-hmm. Mobawere. It's 2 E's or apostrophe E.
2 E's. Were.
Yeah. So it means may it come quickly.
So for money. Period.
Quickly.
Period. For any kind of money that you're looking for over any kind of situation. Money.
You're trying to get
wealth.
it to come quickly, right?
You're trying to get it to come quickly. That's the one you want to pull out the hat.
So yes, you could use it.
Benny. Ashe. I do have a taboo question if you still answering those, Baba.
You see me, you know what this is? I don't know what the emoji for this is. You just got side eyes. Go ahead, Ian.
Are you talking to me, Baba?
Not you, Ian Agan.
So my question is about being barefooted because that was very specific to mine.
You trying to wipe somebody's nose, huh?
You always gotta be. I'm being For real, Baba.
Me too. Yeah, I got already been talking about death. We talking about being barefooted. Like it's let me know.
I'm gonna just
Continue with
mute.
your taboo.
That's it. I was just asking, what was that one for? What is that one about?
Where you go? What carries you there?
My feet.
So the thing that carries you upon your destiny, right? Irete Meji. That's not your old dude, but Irete Meji. You imprint one leg of Arete, I imprint one leg of Arete. With the two legs of Arete, it is the true Irete Meji has been formed. He who cast E5 with good Ori but bad legs, he was advised to offer above. So your legs carry you on your destiny. It's important that those things that carry you on your destiny are covered and protected. Your legs. Where does it start at? Your feet. Your feet.
What was that?
This is her feet. When she got on shoes, they like this. If she don't got on shoes, they like that.
That's inaccurate, and I will leave it at that.
Benny, we're gonna say if I knows best.
Banny.
So to protect your destiny, your path, your walk.
To make sure I get where I'm going.
Benny. So this is something that you have to do, right? To make you consciously aware of how you move, where you go, where your feet take your Ori. So I ask you this. Does that speak about death?
No.
Yes, it does.
Oh, because if I'm not cautious about where I walk, I could bring an ending to where I want to go.
I said Ianifa. I said Ianifa.
Ashe, Baba. Ashe. So it's a either or. Like if you don't listen, you could bring Ajoguni B. Pay attention.
If they're not giving you taboos, I'll be scared.
Hello.
Because they setting you up for failure.
Ashe.
That's not how the Odu Ifa works. So you got the body of the interpretation, which includes the Odu and the articulation of circumstances that the person may find themselves in. And then it has these taboos, right, for things that we should avoid because of the support that we need on our destiny.
That's a fire taboo, actually. That might be my favorite one.
Danny, it saved everybody around you from looking at your feet.
I'll tell you a lie. I like it. I like it. Ashe.
Yeah, Agan. You want to ask something about the E&E5's feet?
Absolutely not.
like
I'm not taking, but you know, Baba, this is a good conversation because we are already in the discussion of being mindful.
Ooh, touche.
Of what we say, actually.
Touche. I say if I buy wow. You know, I say.
She fly. She fly.
Yeah. We streaming this. You like he was making fun of the E&E on YouTube. Ashe. Anybody else? Ashe. Aburu,